Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the fleet. This is Araxis, your fleet admiral, and today I'm coming back with another ship review. Now today we are going to be doing, for most people, a very, very special ship. When I mentioned this to Chris, he got very, very excited. Indeed. So anyway, the ship that I'm doing is, of course, the Galaxy class cruiser, or the exploration cruiser as the game calls it. This is definitely one of the most iconic ships that you'll be able to fly within the game. That being said, it's the Enterprise D. And as you can tell, it's a very, 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 very big ship. In game, it comes in 3 separate classes. You've got Celestial, Envoy, Galaxy, and you also have Venture, which is a premium ship skin, which I don't have, but I can show you anyway. So as you can see, this is the standard Galaxy. Everything about it is Galaxy. This is the one from the Next Generation TV series. This is the one that everyone knows and loves. As usual, you have your 4 standard window types. You have materials 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is the ultra white. And then advanced, you have your mix and match, your pick and mix section, as always. I'll just jump through the templates for you, just to show you. So you got Celestial, which looks very, very strange. I'll admit, it does look very strange. It's like a very squished Galaxy class, very, very squashed, and for some reason I think the nacelles look very old. Like they're not modern, they're not up to date. They look very old. Everything's very rounded on this ship. It's also the smallest out of the 3. And you got Envoy, which is technically the largest. Very jagged edges. As you can see there, it has a larger saucer than the Galaxy class. It has very jagged edges. The nacelles are very jagged. The pylons have got gaps in them. It's very, I think it's too overly sharp. The neck ruins it, in my opinion. And as you saw there, we have Galaxy. And you can see the size difference between the Envoy and the Galaxy just by looking at that there. The Celestial looks bigger than the Galaxy, but I think that's just because of the pylons and the nacelles more than anything else. And then last but not least, you have the Venture, which is a Galaxy class with a massive neck section, essentially, and updated nacelles and an updated deflector dish. Didn't see there. Also, the pylons are slightly smaller, but that is not all we wanted to see about the Galaxy. So I'll beam up to the ship. If you like, you can also buy premium interior skin to match the Galaxy class, so that it looks as close to the Galaxy as it was in the show, I believe. So once we get past this loading screen, which is taking far, far, far too long, we will throw the ship into a deep space encounter just to test out its fighting capability. Actually no, we'll go on a patrol. If we go on a deep space encounter, chances are I'll jump in and all the enemies will have been killed. It's usually the case. Right, so here it is in space. It is a very, very pretty ship. Quite hard to get used to the large saucer section, I will admit, but very pretty ship nonetheless. Right, so we're going to jump into sector space, and then I'm going to get, whilst we're flying to somewhere, going to get into the nitty gritty of the ship's stations and station ranks. Oh, it should really not be taking this long to load. And straight away we have 3 different types of Enterprise. Well, technically that's not an Enterprise, but it is in the future. You have the Enterprise D, which I've got, the Galaxy class Dreadnought, and the Sovereign class Enterprise E. All very pretty ships, which I'll be reviewing at a later date, no doubt. Right, anyway, where shall we go? Let's pick a random system just to fly to. So, anyway, this ship has got 4 stations. It has a Lieutenant Tactical Station, so you get your first 2. You get to choose your first 2 abilities. A Commander Engineering. Now this is ridiculous for a captain level. As a full commander station, so you have access to all 4 abilities for 1 engineer. But then you also have a Lieutenant Engineering as well, so you have 2 engineers, which is typical for a cruiser. All cruisers have 2 engineering sections. And then a Lieutenant Science Station, sorry, which allows you to have 2 science abilities. Okay. Right, if we go on to the ship, that's current ship setup, by the way. It comes with 1,000 crew complement, so hull repair, shield repair is going to be very, very good on this ship because it has such a high crew rating. Perfect for tanking, which is what it's meant to be for. Its hull is 32,500, so it's got a very high hull. Has one of the best hulls in the game, actually, considering. Hull repair rate of 157.7% per minute, and a hull regeneration rate of 137.8 over 6 seconds. Its movement speed is, it has a 25 inertia, so it does drift a lot. With it being such a big ship, which commendable, it will drift. Its flight speed is 45.6, and its turn rate is 21.2 degrees a second. So it's not a fast turner. And that's not a patrol area, so that's no good to me. I may have to go all the way into the Regulus block sector. So as you can see here, also the ship has four weapons, so 4 frontal weapons, and 3 aft weapons. 3, yes, we'll patrol that place. We'll jump straight in anywhere that says patrol, because it means that there'll be enemies nearby. Engage the Orions and protect the satellite. Right, so as I was saying, so it is better at the front than it is at the rear. So head-on attack would go better with this ship. As you can see, this ship will take hits for days. It's a very, very tanky ship. Again, it's not designed for turn fighting. It's not a dogfighter. Definitely not a dogfighter. I wouldn't suggest trying to dogfight with this thing. On pain of death, basically. But it is more than capable of taking on multiple enemies by itself without too much hassle. Getting mega glare from that sun behind the nebula. Just fantastic. As you can see, despite there being many enemies of Orion corvettes and a brigand cruiser as well, they're not able to do massive damage to us. You get your tractor beams. We'll break that tractor beam straight off, shall we? Then we'll heal back up. I mean, if you let them, like I'm doing, they will start taking your shields out eventually, but it's nothing major, to be honest. It really isn't. I've got a turret and I've got a cannon, so my rapid fire is somewhat useful now. Shield modulation. Oh, sorry, direct energy modulation, so I can pierce through the shields a bit better. And then pew pew with the torpedoes, and hit the Ignatian beam as well. So as you can see, this ship is all about tanking the damage. I'm not dealing much damage just because of the equipment I'm currently got on, because I've just got this ship. You can't see in the top left, I am only level 30, so I've just got it. But at the same time, despite not having the best equipment for its class, it is more than able to hold its own against these ships. Now I'll just plough into it with many rapid fire shots. If it wants to play that game, I'll play that game with it. Haven't got a high yield torpedo set up, which I probably would prefer to have. I just thought I would try out the rapid fire, but I might swap that for a high yield torpedo, just to get the damage in a lot quicker. The rapid fire is good for getting rid of shields quickly though, so let's placiate that as well, it doesn't attack me. I mean, look at that little rapid fire. Pew 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 pew. Gotta love the pew pew. Game. Let me take the minor components. Yeah. Polarize the hull. Activate that, and activate that. So as you can see, despite the enemy in overwhelming numbers, we can eliminate these squadrons without worrying too heavily on how much damage we're taking, purely because even if they do penetrate shields, this ship's got so much hull that you won't die very quickly anyway, unless you get overwhelmed by numbers, which is also a possibility within this game. Check me map. Whoa, that's a very big map. What is it expecting me to see more enemies? Game. Well, if I can't find them soon, I'll have a look at that other the satellite over there, and if there's no one over there, then we'll just have to deal without. Aha! There are enemies over at this satellite. Marvellous. Just corvettes this time though, so it won't pose as much a problem. Get away from that satellite so I can pew pew you in the face. I mean, if I want to, just to distract them, I could get me Nimbus Pirates out. Just as a bit of a distraction for now. But as you can see, I can take the corvettes out quite quickly. They really don't pose much of a threat, these corvettes. They can't deal the damage quick enough to get my shields down. The Brigand Cruiser can, but that's purely because the Brigand Cruiser is quite large, like myself, so it holds a lot more weaponry, and also has tractor beams, which is annoying. Tractor beams are always annoying. So as usual, with the cruiser, you always just try and fight on your side. That way, if you've got beam arrays, your beam arrays will be able to get maximum usage out of them. But at the moment, I've got a dual beam, single beam array, and a cannon set up on my front. Realistically, it should all be. I should have one dual beam, 2 beam arrays at the front, 2 beam arrays at the back, but I have a turret at the back as well, so it allows for damage regardless of where I am. And this corvette's got stuck inside the satellite, so it's very difficult for me to actually hit it. Just quite annoying. Ah, I'll just get right up in your face! Right up in your face! How'd you like that? And a 5 just flew through the satellite. Reverse, I could damage it from a particular angle. There we go. If this is how I'm going to have to take it out, I will take it out this way. It will know powerful vengeance. And boom. There we go. And the Enterprise slowly churns its way around. Yeah, this ship is really not designed for full frontal assault. It's not a gun and run, it's not an escort. Like I reiterated in my first review with the light cruiser, it is definitely not designed for gun and run. It hasn't got the turn rate, it's not capable of it. Don't try and get it to turn, otherwise you'll suffer. You'll start crying. As long as you can keep on the side, get most of your weapons off straight away, you probably do fine. If you want to get a torpedo off, then you'll have to either go to your back, have a torpedo set up at the back, or try and out-turn the ship that you're fighting. And this way, we're both turning in opposite directions, so I'll be able to fly straight into it. And go pew 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 with my cannons. I'll jam its sensors just so it can't attack me right off. I do love jam sensors, stopping it from attacking until you deal a certain amount of damage or until it runs out. Could also use evasive maneuvers to get it to turn an awful lot quicker like that. Well, evasive maneuvers only last 10 seconds, so it could end you up in an even more awkward position. Such as now, where we've actually flown out of range of each other, because both of our ships don't turn very well. Other than saying that, I think the Brigand Cruiser has just activated emergency powered engines, which means it has a greater turn rate and a greater flight speed. Which is a bit annoying, I'll grant it. It is very annoying. Considering it looks like it's just flew away to its friends over in the corner there. Best thing to do if you want to try and turn a bit quicker is to turn upwards at an angle like this, because it shortens the amount of space that you've actually turned in. So instead of doing like a really wide angle turn, you'll do quite a narrow little turn. Still take your ages to turn, but you'll have done it in a less confined space. And this is the major problem I have with cruisers, is it's just the inability for them to turn. I like a ship that can turn around really quickly, so I can get back directly on the front, so I can fire off all forward weapons really quickly. But unfortunately this ship is just not able to do that. It is not a turn fighter. Unless I activate evasive maneuvers again. And then swoop in with pew pew pews ablaze. Pew pew pews ablaze, I said. Force another torpedo out by ramming into him. And then let rip the turn battle again. As I said, try and get a very high turn rate going, so I don't waste as much of the space as I have. And then duck down for a tight turn in, and there we go. You know, the mechanics is technically the same as flying a plane. If you want to out-turn someone, but you haven't got the base turn rate, you have to perform maneuvers to allow for very tight turning, so to turn up and around and then down and around rather than just turn in a circle. So that makes it very difficult. Right, so the final set, and it's just Orion corvettes. Don't pose too much of a threat again, like I said before. Really should have activated that before the torpedoes hit me, but never mind. Player error will cause the ship to die more than the ship itself. And for all of those of you who are watching, I do apologise for the jump cut. I had a visitor enter the room and have no way of muting my microphone. So as you can see, we're now back in sector space. I managed to destroy those Orion corvettes. But basic rules apply to this ship. Use it like a boat. Fight on the sides. Use beam arrays rather than cannons or dual beam arrays, which have a shorter firing arc. It is not a turn fighter, it is not an escort. Try not to use it like one. The setup I have is probably not the best because I have a cannon and I have a dual beam array. So I'm not going, not following what I have said, but it's just a setup I'm playing with at the moment. This ship is designed for tanking. It will take the damage whilst the escorts can fly in and do the damage. And with this commander rank engineering station, you do have a lot of healing self-healing capacity. Okay guys, so we're going to collect our reward for completing that, which is lovely expertise, etc. Always like getting a bit of cheap expertise and skill points. And again, you got NCC 100790-D, the USS Mushu. Oh yeah. So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this review of the Galaxy class, or the Exploration Cruiser. And next time is definitely going to be an escort. An escort probably on my main character, as I have a few. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in game soon. This has been Araxis, your Fleet Admiral. Goodbye.